Thank you for joining us today. We have Charles Bernard here from Global Chamber. Thanks, Charles, for being here today.
My pleasure.
Please tell us about yourself and about the companies you work with.
Certainly. So Global Chamber is how we met, and that's my volunteer activity. Basically, I'm the chapter chair for New York City. We have about 500 chairs and chapters around the world, 10,000 members. And we can discuss that when we meet with Susan, who is the executive director and my partner here in New York. But my real life is a CEO of two companies. One is Criteria for Success, which is a traditional sales consulting company, and that's been around for 18 plus years. And since COVID, so more recently, I founded a company called Calavia, which is also a revenue enablement platform based on AI technology that is constantly updated to meet the latest selling and buying relationships and methodology.
Excellent. For the Criteria of Success, the first company you mentioned, can you tell us a bit more about what type of companies and what type of industries you work with?
Well, I'll step back a little bit and just talk about how I got into that. I was with General Electric for a number of years, and I started life as a software developer, an engineer, really. I designed systems, and in doing that, GE had asked me to step into a account management role of a very large company, Mobil Oil, before they merged with Exxon. So I ran that account. And in doing so, my job was to continue expanding our presence. So I became, by default, a sales account executive. Right. When I left GE, I wanted to found my own business. I'm now an American citizen, but the accent's from the UK. I was actually born in Madrid, so I'm bilingual, Spanish and
Interesting.
and English, which in New York comes in handy because there's a lot of Spanish-speaking people. And in founding this company, Criteria for Success, I wanted to provide top-notch sales consulting. So we work with Fortune companies, mid-market companies, and we work with their sales teams and their leaders, the CEO, oftentimes on strategy, sales strategy, and execution. During that time, then I'll tell you how I started the second company. Probably 5 or so years into that company, we started developing sales playbooks. A sales playbook is an idea where an organization can capture all its selling wisdom, best practices, and make those available to the sales team. As time went on, though, we discovered that we had two problems. One, we didn't own the platform that we were putting these playbooks on because they were living in the cloud on the internet. And two, no one was reading them. And it got worse because if you think about it today, no one reads anything on, no one has the patience, especially salespeople. So right around COVID, after COVID, I founded a company specifically to solve those two problems. One, we wanted our own platform that we could change and adapt. And two, we wanted to make it so that people didn't have to read it. And what I mean by that is when you put in all this knowledge of how to sell, how to market, how to upsell and expand your relationships, all of that is now read by the AI. So we have an API into OpenAI, and then all the salesperson has to do, or actually anyone involved in revenue generation has to do, is ask the AI any questions they have about prospecting, selling, etc.
Okay, that's very interesting. What about the second company that you mentioned? Can you tell us more about it?
Sure. The name of it is Calavia. It's actually a name that has two parts. The Colla part, C-O-L-L-A, is collaborate, And the via part is Latin for the way. So if you put them together, it's the way to collaborate. And we did that based on our selling methodology, which is essentially sales has traditionally, the sales team has been viewed by organizations as an island, just a separate part of the organization. And a lot of pressure to perform is on that part of the organization, sales. We wanted to open it up so organizations would all contribute. And that's why we call it revenue generation versus sales enablement. I think sales enablement is actually a term that is not going to be around for very long. Too much emphasis on selling. We want more of the emphasis on buying, helping buyers buy, because they're doing most of the work before they talk to a company. So now your operations team is answering questions that normally your sales team used to answer. Your marketing team is starting to take a different approach in how they communicate with buyers. So now selling becomes, or revenue generation becomes, an organization-wide practice, and that's what Calavia is all about.
Super. Can you share an experience from one of these companies that was really memorable in collaborating with you?
Yes, we actually had done business with an organization that's in the wealth management space. And it's very common, they're a large wealth management company based in Seattle. And it's very common for wealth managers to wear two hats. They have to deal with the portfolios, the investment, and all the stuff that's operational for their clients. But the other hat they wear is they have to bring in new clients. So there's that sales aspect. And in that particular company, it was very difficult for client advisors to keep switching between serving their clients and finding new clients. We came in with our methodology, which we call enabling buying in a world of selling. We used our playbook technology, and they, at the time, in their first year, they saw a 30% increase in sales. And after 3 years, they saw a 300% increase in sales, in revenue.
Oh, that's impressive.
I think so. And they were on the radar to be bought because their numbers looked so good. So they ended up being a part of a global global financial institution. So I think that was very memorable for us.
Oh. Can you share any upcoming products or services or initiatives that you're working on?
Yeah, thanks for asking. So I think we as humans are finding that the pace of selling and buying is moving faster than we can keep up. In other words, I said earlier, buyers are now much more intentional about talking to an organization. They're doing their own research. That's all changing from the traditional outreach model. So what we're working on is enabling AI to not only satisfy today's selling methodology, predict, using some algorithms that we're developing to predict how selling and buying is going to evolve. And I think the biggest, most exciting thing I'm excited about is, where does the human participate? Do we need salespeople? How does an organization manage that whole buying and selling process? And where does the human being come into it? So I see, obviously, for the next 10 years, probably a big presence still with salespeople. But I think over time, their role is going to change into more subject matter, even today, more subject matter expert. So less selling and more being a subject matter expert, so you can help people who are buying deliver solutions. And they need AI because it's getting more complicated.
Right, I understand. Can you share a little more about yourself?
Yes.
Where are you from? Do you have any hobbies? You live in the city, as I understand?
I do. Yeah. I live in New York City. I live in the financial district.
Okay.
So literally 2 blocks away from Wall Street.
Great.
I love it. I was a little skittish at first because I like a lot of high energy, and I lived in Midtown. But I moved after I sold my property there, and it's quiet. It's very relaxed. I'm in the city, and as I said, I was born in Madrid. I grew up in the UK, and I became an American citizen. Very proud of being a US citizen.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So that was an accomplishment. And my hobbies, you mentioned hobbies. Well, my number one hobby is scuba diving.
Oh, wow. Very interesting.
Yeah, I love scuba diving. I go every year with friends to the same place in the Caribbean.
Okay.
It's called Bonaire. It's in the Dutch Caribbean, and it's perfect for scuba diving. And it's just another world down there. People don't realize.
Wow.
So I find it very relaxing. I also played, not so much now, but I played competitive racquetball. I've done triathlon, but more importantly, I love traveling and walking with my partner, Laura. She and I love to walk everywhere. So when we travel, we don't take Ubers. We don't stay at hotels. We stay at Airbnbs, cook our own food because we like to go out, walking to markets, shop, get to know the local culture, and then just continue to learn about new companies, new countries.
Well, Charles, thank you so much for being here today. Wishing you good luck and hope we can partner.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Pleasure meeting.
Likewise.